yeah, this is Nerdly Out Loud for nerdly.co.uk, and we are still at the Romford Horror Film Festival, and I have an absolute treat because we just watched a movie on Screen 3. Well, Matt didn't watch it. We will talk about that in a quick hot second, but I have director Matthew Taylor and actress Vivien Taylor from the short movie Tealight, which we were really glad that you submitted to the festival, and so chuffed that we got to show it today. And what happened, Matt?
Well, today? Okay.
I didn't want to come. He chickened out. That was
No.
Doesn't like seeing his own work on the screen.
So today I was meant to be here 2 hours early because I was really looking forward to the day, but fate have be it, my car broke down, which is now sat outside in front of my hotel, which I have to sort out tomorrow. So it's been an afternoon of towing and back on trucks and sitting on a motorway. I was literally sat on a motorway eating a sandwich, looking at my car when the film was screening. So I literally took a picture of that moment, and it was so sad.
You should have just watched it on your phone.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
I was thinking,
This
no,
is
I was
my
thinking,
life.
Yeah.
It's kind of symbolic, though.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it's like, you know, all the cars going by and.
Oh no, I wasn't looking at cars.
Oh, no?
No, I was literally looking at an embankment, so there was a bit of grass. I could hear the cars because they were behind me. But
Just looking in the rear view, crying.
I just didn't know what happened, but I did have a very tasty sandwich though, so it was good.
Kind of sandwich.
It was a tuna melt.
Nice. I'm all right with that. I'll give you that. I'll let you have that one.
So I like that.
So I guess it's pointless asking you anything. So Vivien, what was it like seeing Tealight up on the screen, on the big screen? Is this the first time you've seen it on the big screen?
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it on the big screen. It was quite emotional, I have to say. A few tears were actually shed, especially the kitchen scene where I do cry in the film. And I think with the added music and hearing it in proper cinematic sound through the speakers and everything, and seeing it so powerfully shot on the big screen, it was pretty intense, I have to say.
I've got a few questions about the sound and everything. We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
But how did where did Tealight come from? How did it come about?
Okay, I've been asked this a couple of times actually. So there's a mix of things. So when I first thought of the idea for Tealight, one of the main things that came from was that own time I was suffering a lot with my own anxieties and fears about what was going to happen in life and what was going on, and that it was quite a dark time for me anyway. And then I thought to myself, you know, I'm in the mood to write something. I want to write a horror based on something around this, but the only couple of things that were adamant in my mind was the door, not being able to get out the door, and it was something to do with the contrast in light and dark. That's where the tea lights came from. And the other involved it was the initial idea was like phobias. I wanted to explore phobias, but drowning was another one, was just prominent in my mind. These didn't, like, I didn't kind of think this sounds cool, this is what I want to do. Just for whatever reason, those three things were buzzing in my mind. Yeah. So I was like, I mean, the film itself took 13 drafts, so each draft's completely different. So there's lots of different things that come in and out from the screenplay. But yeah, that's where it all started, just from those three things. It was like an itch that I just had to get on paper, and I didn't know how.
I have to say as well, as long as I've known you, because spoiler alert, I've known Matt for a long time, but as long as I've known you, this is exactly the sort of movie that if I had have predicted you were going to make a movie, Tealight's this kind of thing, because it's deep, it's introspective, and it's exactly the Matt Taylor that I remember. And seeing that up on the screen, I have to admit, I sat at the back because you couldn't. I sat there and I was proud. I was proud as hell seeing that up there today.
Thank you so much.
So that's another reason. Thank you for submitting and everything.
Thank you for accepting.
Once you had your story, once you'd done your 19 million drafts, and at one point it's a musical, at one point it's a comedy.
Who told
dancing.
you? Who told you? Yeah, you can
dance.
How did you get Vivien on board?
So Vivien I knew from a feature film we did. Yes. With Solaris Films and Rob Burrows and Barbara French, Train Set.
And Patrick Bergen.
And Jimmy V.
Yes, Jimmy V, R2D2.
Yeah. So I knew Vivien by association. I wouldn't say we're friends then, were we? We knew each other. Yeah. But it was work colleagues. And then when I was thinking of casting for Tealight, I think I can't remember the exact moment what brought me to you, but I wanted Evelyn, the character, to have strength and vulnerability, and every time, I'm sorry, Viv, every time I look at you, like, I don't know what it is, it's your eyes, I think it's your eyes, like, it's just, you can portray that very well. And after speaking to you as well, you know, I wanted to give you a character that you could really get behind.
Get my
and
teeth into it.
Yeah, and you jumped straight at it.
Absolutely loved it.
So I was like, straight before we even started filming, Vivien just embodied Evelyn from the get-go. I think that first production meeting we had, I was like, yeah. So
I understood her. I understood where she was coming from as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of the time people have preconceived ideas of what people are like, but actually they don't know them at all. And you know, Evelyn's got all this going on in her head, but you know, at the end you see her and she's all, yes, I'm all happy. And I think probably that's how she's portrayed herself before. And then what you see of her in the house, that's her real being. And you know, and I think everybody has that to a certain extent in their own personalities. You know, even me, everybody thinks, oh yeah, Vivien Taylor, she's so happy-go-lucky, but I can be really moany as well.
She wasn't on set. She was lovely on set.
It was great fun.
Yeah, it was.
That
really
house, oh my goodness.
So in terms of getting yourself to that point, because it is very deep, and you've got to be in that moment and all that, how did you get yourself to those points? Because you sitting in front of you, you are happy, bubbly Vivien, you know what I mean? So like, how did you get yourself to that point?
Just imagine really dark situations. So the scene in the kitchen when she's looking at the teacups and her mum's lipstick is on the teacup, I actually thought, right, imagine that is actually my mum and dad's teacups, and I've not seen them. You know, the last time I saw them, they were obviously alive, and their teacups are still there, and that's a reminder of them. And I just totally got into it. And then, you know, I think about, how will I feel when my mum and dad die? Don't want that to happen ever. Same with my dog even. I've got a wee dog, Alexei, and I just think, oh my goodness. Every day I look at her and think, oh my God, God help me when she goes, because... and that's me. I mean, I could probably cry now thinking about it. So, you know, I just get myself into a really dark place. And listening to Stevie Wonder sometimes gets the emotions
really
going
helps.
as well, yeah.
But I remember shooting that scene in the kitchen, the last take that you did. Vivien did the most amazing take, which is the one that's in the film, and the way she did it, because we did it 4 times before, I was like, okay, I think we've got it. And you were like, no, can I do one more? Yeah, you can do one more. Just one more. And she just came out with that absolutely amazing performance. And although you can't tell on the film, because all the crew and everyone, we were just...
You all let out this sigh of relief.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a sigh of relief.
I went, uncut.
It was like literally, like, because did I say it to you before? You tell me when you want to cut. Yeah.
I went, uncut.
And we were literally just in awe of what she came in and did in that room, and none of us could have believed, because it was so raw and so real, and it was beautiful. And no, thank you. You did all the work.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
He was just there. He was just there.
Yeah,
it was good. It's going to sound really weird me saying that, but it was really good fun, because it was satisfying, because I thought, yes, this is what I'm wanting to achieve.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think you can do crying scenes, but you don't actually cry. But I did it. I was like,
you did it so well.
Yes, I felt it and had to sort of take myself away for a minute and
that
go,
was beyond expectations of what I was expecting the scene to go, but what you did with it made it so much better. So much better. That's one of my favourite scenes.
You're making me blush.
But it's true.
Enough.
It's true.
People are probably watching this going, really? I thought it was rubbish.
No, not at all, not at all. We all loved it on the panel, so I mean, that's why we showed it. It's why we picked it.
Thank you so much, everyone on the panel.
Everyone on the panel, everyone. So, the score, because your music and even your score, even when sitting watching it on a laptop with my headphones in, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's just
mesmerizing.
It is brilliant. And then, like you said before, in there with the massive screen and the massive sound system, obviously you'll never see that. In there with that,
Marina, I am sorry, our composer. I'm sorry I missed that, because I wanted to watch it for her.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how the score was composed, the collaboration process that you had with that, because I know what you're like. You would have had a lot of input on that, but tell us a little bit about the score.
Okay, so I've been very fortunate to have made contact with Marina Makarova, who's our composer, and she composed the music on my last film, August, as well. And what surprises me with her is that I'll send her the cut of the film, she'll watch it, and she'll instinctively know the emotional currents and the tones in the film for both of them. And she's so in tune to me as a creative person and as what kind of emotions I want to put through in the film, that really the input that I had was just making sure that Marina didn't really making sure that Marina got enough sleep, because the time when she was composing it, we were messaging a lot backwards and forwards, and she was like, Matt, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, that sounds great, and she would send me little snippets, and it would blow my mind, or I'll go, oh, I'm not too sure about this bit, but she's like, no, wait, and when I hear the rest of it, it just all flows into it nicely. But Marina came to me one night towards the end of when she was composing, and she says, you know what, I'm so happy that it's over, because she had to go to some really dark places herself.
Oh, did she?
Like what you said,
Wow.
to actually get the right tones and everything.
You can feel that.
Yeah, so the music she did is beyond anything I could have asked her to do. I work so well with her that all we do is we just make sure that we're on the right emotional wavelength, which 90% of the time we are. And from there, the collaborative process is just checking back with each other. I do very little in terms of telling her what I want and what to direct. And she just instinctively goes, what do you think of this bit? This is what I'm going to put here. And it's just, I've never worked with a composer before that has been that intricate to my own kind of emotional wavelength. And I think we gel so well. And yeah, I would love for Marina, and I want Marina to be the only person that scores any of my films from now on. I think she's just absolutely amazing.
She just gets it.
Yeah.
She really does.
She's a Morricone, is she?
She is literally, she's given me so much inspiration as well. Like, one of the films I'm writing at the minute is because she asked me if I could write a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale, but there's a bit of a twist, Marina. Sorry if you're watching this. So just from her asking, I came up with all these ideas. So I'm writing some stuff just for her as well. So she's been like a muse to me. She's sparked my creativity more than I thought a composer would, like in part of a film. But now I can't wait to shoot something to give it to her to see what she does, because her music's just amazing. So I can't take any credit for how good the score is. It's all Marina.
I mean, you can, because you found her and you've now made us.
I suppose you're feeding each other, aren't you? So it's like you're bouncing back and forward. It's a really good collaborative process.
It's great.
It's nice.
So Vivien, would you work with Matt again?
Oh, I have to think about that. Of course, we've got the same blooming surname.
Who's got you by the arm?
No.
I suppose that does help. Having
We
the same
do
surname.
have the same, but we're not in any way related, shape
No.
or form, which is quite funny, because people are like, is it your brother? Is it your cousin?
Yeah.
No, we just get the same name.
Yeah. It's quite funny. The production name as well, like the Taylor Made.
Taylor Made. Oh yeah.
It's like, actually it is, because we're both Taylors.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I'd work with Matt anytime.
Yeah, Vivien, I'd have to call and wait and kind of think. Yeah, I would work with you in a heartbeat as well.
So this question, it's going to be a bit of a hard one for Matt, of course, but any creative, I always ask these questions in these little interviews that I do, because every creative I speak to, director, producer, actor, actress, composer, when they see their movie up on the big screen, which unfortunately Matt hasn't. But
how many times are you going to do that?
We might have like a wee secret screening now.
when they see their work up on the big screen and everything, and they see everything that was wrong with it, they see a shot that went a little bit too long, they see a boom shadow that they missed or something like that, or an actress who I could have delivered that a little bit better. When you were sat there in the screen today watching it, what was your proudest moment? What moment on the screen did you think smashed that?
Ooh, I don't know. Probably the kitchen scene.
Yeah.
And that, along with Marina's music, like I've got to say, the tears were running down my face. But I don't know if it was the emotional recall from going back to the day of filming. But yeah, I was pretty proud of that, and I like the stuff with the doll's house as well.
Yeah.
I think that looked really cool.
Fun fact: that doll's house is my mother's doll's house that she's had since they were kids. My mother and my.
So that's just like an extra
aunt.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to immortalize it by sticking it in
But
there.
yeah, no,
so.
I was really happy with the whole thing. I mean, there have been times that I've seen myself in films and I've gone, oh my goodness, why did I roll my eyes there, or why did I make that funny face? But no, I watched it and thought, no, that was actually, I'm pretty proud of all that.
Good.
But I was saying to Matt earlier on, I was a stone heavier than I am now, so I was sort of looking at myself going, oh, don't look too good. But it's good for the character.
Yeah.
And going,
That's just a
look
woman
bit
thing, that,
chubby, and, I've got a few lines, I don't know what I think. But
Yeah, but we made you
Hey,
up to look, you know.
yeah, we're all getting older.
Yeah, but no, it's
Like, I can
makeup.
pass for
and-
21 anymore.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure.
And I am going to ask the
Few
same question to
prosthetics.
you.
Okay.
When you've watched this and when you've, because you'll have edited this and you've sat with it for months and months and months, but when you watched the very final cut the first time, we'll go with the first time that you had a final locked picture, what did you look at and think, yeah, that was awesome?
See, I'm quite overcritical of myself as well.
I
So
know that about you. That's why I asked the question.
You do that. It's a
That's
tough
why I asked the question.
Yeah. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of things that I wish we'd done different or done better. But what I liked, there's a couple of instances where I thought it kind of nailed it. The kitchen scene I thought was really good, and I knew the first time I watched it, I knew that I'd done good enough for the film, because I messaged you actually the first time I watched the first proper cut with Marina's music, and it was the Tealights at the end, when the house
so
lit up,
nice.
and when Marina's music kicks in and you've got all those cascading shots of all the flames, and that just really got to me, because it was I was like, Evelyn's finally, she's embracing a glow. She,
Absolutely.
she's brought her life, light back into her life, and that really hit me with the music. And I think it
Same
started
today, actually, with me. I was looking at it going, oh,
yeah, but I think
she's getting there.
yeah,
She's
that's
winning.
It, that's
she's
it.
winning at
That's
life.
That's it. And I think it started when you first see obviously Nicole Verhoeven, who is actually in Sydney. We shot her stuff in Sydney, and she
Nice.
provided those shots of Sydney. Thank you, Nicole. You're amazing. But that moment when, that's it. Obviously, the film's quite dark, I would say, throughout. When there is light, it's very pale, and it's very blue. And then just to switch it in that instance from Nat's bubbly face, and then just to see
All the colours.
all the
So
colours,
nice.
the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, combined with the music and what was coming from that second, I was like, oh, and then I got really emotional from there. So I was first time I'd seen it, crying like a baby at the with the candles. I messaged you straight after. I said, I'm crying.
I didn't know you were crying like a baby.
No, and I'd seen it. No. I definitely wept, but not. I'd seen the film so many times, cut it so many times, but just that first instance, and then I knew. I think we'd done something a little bit special there.
I think so, definitely.
This one's for both of you, of course. They all are. When people see Tealight, when you, will you be putting it online and things like that so that people can see it?
Yes.
And,
It is on YouTube, so
Awesome,
it can
awesome.
be seen on YouTube.
What do you hope people take from it?
So, what I wanted, which I kind of hope comes across, but I think if I would like people to have their own interpretation and take away whatever they can from it.
Yeah.
But I always hoped that there would be that people would take away a little bit of, not saying that people aren't compassionate, they are, but I think we can't have enough compassion.
Oh no.
So if anyone walks away from the film and thinks, do you know what, I haven't messaged my friend in a while, or I haven't spoken to this person in a while, I'm just going to send them a message, because you don't know how powerful just an innocent, nice message now and then actually can have on someone, especially if they are going through some horrible things. So make people think of others, I guess. That's probably where I would like them to take. But there's so many things. What about
Definitely.
you?
For me, the film probably would signify that despite the fact you could be going through the darkest period of your life, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know, there are ways to get out of, you know, to get out of a dark place, or, you know, some people get stuck in a rut, but, you know, time is a great healer, and I think that, you know, with enough help from people, you know, just what Matt was saying, checking in on people, I think my character Evelyn's relationship with her cousin, you know, just knowing that her cousin cares about her and she's got family that want her to go out and visit her, she's thinking, okay, right, I'm actually not alone. My mum and dad are gone, but I've got this family that I need to go and explore and meet them, and I've got a whole new life. And I think sometimes people just, they freak out without actually going, right, let's just stop here. I've got loads of friends, I've got other family who care about me. So I think it's a nice message to think, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and keep going, because you will get through it.
Love that. Love that. When are we getting Tealight 2?
Yeah, when are we? When are we shooting?
Tealight harder.
Tealighters.
Or Torch.
Oh,
it's
writing itself now.
Just written it.
Yeah, Torch. Yeah,
just written it right now. I love that. I love that.
That's it.
That's how it used to work. That's how it used to work in college.
Just add an S on the end of it as your sequel. So, funnily enough, I was actually, so I'm writing other little bits and pieces now and then, but I've actually formulated an idea of Tealight being part of a bigger world. So Tealight's actually one situation, one house, one person's journey, but there's a grander scale behind it. It's not further much developed at the minute, and I don't want to say too much, because I would need a lot of funding behind it. But I was thinking, because there was always the thought of the continuation of Evelyn's story, or because we did write some stuff for Nat's character as well. There was going to be some things across the pond, but then it's kind of formed to be like, okay, if you had this one instance of this character essentially afraid and running from themselves in the house, but it's something physical that's there. That's just one manifestation of something that somebody's going through. What if, say, it was something else? If that was changed, you know, if it was, it might not be anxieties or self-doubt or fear. It could be something else. What would that manifest itself as? So
I like that.
There's scope to write a lot of things and change things up. So Tealight 2, I'm not sure, but maybe some form of feature where Tealight,
I like that.
Like a Tealight universe.
Every
street lamp. Yeah.
Everyone
Bonfire.
Everyone loves a shared universe these days, so you've got to do it.
Yeah, that's it.
No. Thank you so much for submitting the film to the festival, and thank you for letting us show it. But before I let you go, please do look down the camera. Do me a favour, pimp yourselves a little bit. Let people know where they can find you, social media, where they can find Tealight, everything like that before we head off.
You go first.
You go first? Okay. Matt Taylor, my social media handle is @Director M Taylor, so I can be found on Instagram, Twitter. I don't usually use that much, but my films, Tealight and the previous short August that we did, can be seen on YouTube, but also on the Genera Films platform as well. And there we go.
I'm Vivien Taylor, and my Instagram is @the Taylor, VIVIEN TAYLOR. Twitter @Vivien Taylor, and Facebook @Vivien Taylor Actress. I know I couldn't get all the same ones. What can you do? And www.vivientaylor.com.
It's very rare that you can get all the same ones. I've been trying, man. But no, it's absolutely amazing to see you again, mate. It's been a bloody long time, and for something like this, back in those days, like when we was at college and all that, if I could have picked anybody in our course or in our year or anything that was actually going to go ahead and do it, it was always going to be you. So to be sat here and I haven't actually seen your project up on the screen, it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Would have been better if you were there.
Yeah, of course. I did try. I tried my hardest. Yeah. I tried my hardest. I promise.
But honestly, you would have loved seeing that up there, and we'll get you to see it on a big screen somewhere.
Oh,
absolutely.
Well, can I say thank you to you and everyone at Romford as well for having
us. You don't have to. You could just say thanks to me.
Okay, well, thanks to
you so much.
I do everything.
No, honestly, it was brilliant. For me as well, seeing it on the big screen, that was the first time, and it means
I didn't realise that was the first time you'd seen it on the. That must have been class.
It was really cool. Really, really good.
I mean, he's not seen it, but
You're gonna be. Yeah, you're going to be digging that with me until I actually do see it on the big screen.
I need
Yes.
to
Yes,
try and get
that's
something
fine.
arranged.
If anybody knows anything about me, once I've got a bone, I don't let go.
No.
No.
Maybe I should never watch it on the big screen, and then you can always have that bone. I'll give you that, Kev.
But then it just becomes a fact of like it's never gonna go. So,
Right,
so
okay.
like I need to have an end game, you know.
Right. Okay.
Right. Thank you so much.